asleep.
Oh, he fell asleep?
He might come up, but
Okay.
I'm not waiting.
Okay.
It must be monumental here that we need. George actually, tell you guys, he's in the hospital right now.
For him or for
He got
Barney?
stung by a big bee right here. And they're afraid it's going to go into it. They gave him stuff.
Does he have that allergy?
And he's not allergic to it.
But it's-
being stung by a big wasp right
Yeah.
there. All you need. It's too close to all those nerves.
Yep.
So he will not be here. He didn't
Okay.
mind if I told you.
Okay. Say a prayer for him. George got stung.
Yeah, right. He's tough guy. Yeah, you got a big bee right here. Okay, we are going to start the meeting, and I would request that George Kalawowski be allowed to have an absence. He got stung by a bee in his face, and he told, I could tell you, he's in the hospital. So, I think he has a good excuse. So I would call the meeting to order and a roll call, please.
Trustee Swartz.
He is on his way.
Trustee Kalawowski, absent. Trustee Skrosnick.
Here.
Trustee Lytle.
Here.
Mayor Ziegler.
Here. Would you rise and salute the flag for me, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item one, accept minutes of board meeting of June 25th, 2015.
Be resolved that the reading of the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting of June 25th, 2015 be dispensed with and the same stand approved as entered by the clerk.
Any questions?
Well, I have a question, and maybe this is a good time to bring it up. We continue to get that agenda and the minutes of the meeting just 2 or 3 days before this meeting. I believe it's required, it's incumbent on the village manager to do everything in his power to try and get us the agenda 5 working days before the meeting. Since February 10th, we've had 11 meetings, and we've got 5 of those on Tuesday and 6 of them on Monday. And I think if we had a little bit more time, we could do a better job of going over the minutes, because sometimes they get missed, and we get here and we just approve them. That's all I have to say.
Okay, well, actually, there is no 5-day requirement. In fact, there is no requirement for an agenda at all, so.
According to the rules for the Board of Trustees that I was handed, it's 5 days.
You're talking about agenda or the minutes?
The agenda. 5 days, 5 working days is what it says in there. Be happy to provide you with a copy.
Okay, thank you.
Is it possible to put the agenda together any quicker because of things that come up that have to go on it? Sometimes
Yeah, we can do add-ons if necessary, sure.
I mean, okay, motion to approve the minutes then? So moved. Have a second?
I'm certainly not gonna second it, because these are the meetings I'm not able to come to, so I'm not too sure what took place during the meeting, so I have to abstain from it because I didn't have a voice during the meeting.
Brad, you seconding the minutes?
What happens if I don't?
They won't get approved, and there'll be a motion on the next meeting to consider approving the minutes for that meeting.
I won't be seconding.
Okay.
So the motion dies for lack of a second.
Okay, we're gonna move on to item 2, which is audience participation. And I think we've talked about the guidelines. I try to keep them pretty liberal, 3 minutes. Anybody from the floor? Okay, we're gonna move on. Financial report, please. Walt?
Okay, we have the first month of the fiscal year. Our receipts so far are, this is through June 30th, of course, are about 40,000 less than they were at this time last year. The expenses are about 26,000 higher at the same point over last year. Overall, however, the expenditures are still under budget. In the water fund, and bills are now due, the delinquency date is next Wednesday. At this point, we're $658 short of where we were last year and about $2,400 over expenses at the same time last year. So we're okay. No problems at all with the finances for the first month.
Any questions on that? Have we started to feel, and do you have an idea of how much of the sales taxes that the county is keeping at this point? Is that something you can report on now, or?
Well, the projection was about 115,000 for this year. The problem in coming down with a specific number is they're on a calendar year, we're on a fiscal year, and so it gets
Okay.
spread over 2 different budgets.
I just figured I'd start asking.
Yeah.
Okay, so item 4 would be scheduling of the September 10th meeting. Resolution, please.
I was hoping you would discuss it first, so I would know what date to put in there.
The issue is that the primary has been rescheduled to September 10th, which will be our normal meeting night. And since the primary will be taking place, we won't have access to the council room. So you might want to consider moving it to Tuesday prior, which would be September 8th.
No?
I think September 8th.
That's
works
fine
for me.
Yeah.
7 p.m.
Yeah. Okay. So, resolution, please.
Be resolved that due to the primary election scheduled for September 10th, 2015, the village board meeting of the same date is hereby canceled and rescheduled for Tuesday, September 8th at 7 p.m.
So
So
moved. Second.
Made, seconded. Roll call, please.
Trustee Swartz.
Aye.
Trustee Skrosnick.
Aye.
Trustee Lytle.
Aye.
Mayor Ziegler.
Aye. We have one add-on. We can entertain a motion for the add-on, please.
I'll make a motion that we add on item 5 to the agenda and read it.
Have a second?
I'll second the motion for a discussion on this
Sure.
topic.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Trustee Swartz.
Aye.
Trustee Skrosnick.
Aye.
Trustee Lytle.
Aye.
Mayor Ziegler.
Aye. So, item 5, do you want to have any discussion on that before? I've been in and talked to Walt about this, and why don't you talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, the motion is simply, or the resolution rather, is simply a notice of support so that Community Progress can bring in or apply for a grant from the state for what are called Main Street grant funds. And so the purpose of those funds and the purpose of the grant is to improve the local properties and specifically Hanover Square. So if the grant is awarded, that money would be used to improve properties that the applicants from Hanover Square who have expressed an interest. They, in expressing their interest, are also committed to their own local share. In terms of the village, there is no financial support. It is simply that in doing these grants, the state wants to know that the local government supports the project. And Community Progress Incorporated, by the way, is also working with us on the Merchants Association here and in Elmira Heights as a joint venture, if you will.
Is this $250,000 just for the village, or is it for everything that they service?
No, it's just specific for the Hanover Square within the village and for developing their property, improving their property.
Do they have people interested? Landlords?
Yes, they do. Yep,
Did this, there was a meeting I heard recently.
yes.
How many merchants attended that meeting?
I think it was 4 or 5.
I didn't, I heard about it after the meeting took place. Would have liked to have been there so I could have learned a little bit more about what was going on with it. So we sponsored the meeting for the merchants?
No, Community Progress.
Just
did.
used the building?
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
If they get this grant, will the money go to the CDBG fund?
No, this is a completely separate grant
Okay.
specific for Main Street improvement, business redevelopment throughout the state. So the successful grantees get to use the funds for that specific purpose.
Are there guidelines that these apartments have to be done historically? Wainscoting and certain color paints and
As far as I know, yes. Depending on whether or not the building itself is in historic district.
Yeah, I'd like to see any work done on the buildings that are time of the period of the time when they were built, not some of the stuff we see now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Don't monies exist right now, as Ron said, in the Community Block Development, Grant Development Fund?
Yes.
For this same thing?
Mm,
They can apply for these?
Yeah, yes. There is money in CDBG for businesses in the target area, which in our case happens to be the entire village, not just Hanover Square. There are, of course, restrictions on that, one of which is it's low interest, but it is interest rate, whereas this program is a grant.
I also think that the grant system that we have in place is more for the businesses, as I recall, and this is more for the apartments.
This is a grant for both, for,
Storefronts?
it could be, if that's what the business owner wants to invest the grant money in. If it's accepted as the state will make the ruling about whether or not they're going to allow that application to be approved.
So they could really start applying for exterior improvements that become more historic too and help. Would it set up guidelines for coloring of paint so somebody doesn't paint the building pink?
Yes, yes.
Very similar to what happened in Montour Falls, Main Street, heading down towards the falls. That got a complete facelift through
Yes.
Community Progress, I believe.
Yes, yes. Julie Chevalier, who is the executive director of this, was the principal in Montour Falls
Yeah.
redevelopment. Part of that money, part was Main Street development. Others were historic preservation grants. This is not historic, what we're talking about here to support is not historic preservation. It is a Main Street grant.
But all this just says if we pass this, that we support them getting the grant or applying for the grant. correct?
Yes.
Who takes care of the grant application after that? Them, not us?
Community Progress does, and there's a 7-year administrative requirement of them to police the grant and the carrying out of the grant.
Seems pretty straightforward, kind of. They get the help themselves, we're out of it, don't cost us nothing, and have fun.
I think it's good. I think it's a great program. It's a win-win situation for the community. My only question is, I mean, grants are always available. The timing on it, I was just wondering why we're waiting, now for something like this to come forward. Wasn't there something like this previously available?
Is this new monies?
It's new money, and the state announces a timeframe in which they announce the grant and the application is due. The application is due, in this case, July 31st.
Any other questions? Resolution, please.
Whereas Community Progress Incorporated intends to submit an application in the amount of $250,000 for assisting property owners in developing their buildings, including upper floor residential units within historic Hanover Square. Also included in the application is a request for the maximum allotted administrative and program delivery expenses to be paid from grant funding, which is included in said amount. And whereas the grant guidelines require that the grant application has the support of the local municipality. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees does hereby authorize by signature support of an application by Community Progress Inc. to take all actions necessary to submit a grant application to the Office of Community Renewal for the 2015 round of New York Main Street Grant Program in an amount not to exceed $250,000. And be it further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be sent by the village mayor to Community Progress Inc., care of the Executive Director, Louis Chevalier.
So moved.
Second?
Made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Trustee Schwartz.
Aye.
Trustee Skrosnick.
Aye.
Trustee Lytle.
Aye.
Mayor Zuber.
Aye. That's it. Ron, you have anything? From Florida? Mike?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to update the board on a study I have been conducting. I know I mentioned this several months back, but it's to reduce the expenses for Village Hall in turn of also looking at positions, specifically the village manager's position, and see if we can reduce the cost by reducing the position from full-time to part-time. The study consists of other municipalities, specifically villages, not only in Chemung County, but other 6 to 8 other counties. And I got a spreadsheet put together as well as a PowerPoint presentation. The information would be fruitful for not only us as a municipality, but also for the village taxpayers. So I'd like to submit this presentation on September 3rd at 7 p.m.
First Thursday. I don't have a full board tonight either to vote on this. Is this something that we could get? As I said, George is in the hospital tonight, laid up. Yeah, you'll be all right. He just got muted.
Well, Your Honor, because of the timing of the meetings, we very often don't have all of us here to vote on things.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is a medical thing, it's not just. he didn't
I
show up.
understand that.
Yeah, but we do have time to decide. We have the whole month of August, so that we could actually poll. I'm just trying to be fair to all the members on this part, if we want to, or you can take a vote right now.
Could we do it on the 8th, or we change that meeting to the Tuesday the 8th?
This doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, why have two
We're gonna
meetings?
have a meeting.
You're just gonna present it, right?
Well, I mean, I put this in, did due diligence with the program and still making some modifications to it. And, you know, September 3rd would probably be the best. And I'm not asking for a motion to pass on, you know, as a workshop. I mean, just basically a presentation. You know, everybody, I mean, I've done presentations in the past. I know Attorney Groff was there presently. But, you know, if I would like to have it on the 3rd with or without the board approval. I mean, it could be a workshop if somebody wants to make a motion to approve it, but it is a public presentation. Again, will be fruitful to the municipality as well as the public.
Well, all right. You want to have a workshop? Do you have a subject? You want to talk about it? Is that okay with you?
Sure.
So let's have a workshop September 8th, 7 o'clock.
Third.
Oh, I had 8.
That's the
That's the.
Oh, this is a special meeting, yeah. Fine.
So September the 3rd of our regular meeting, we're gonna have a workshop during our regular meeting?
No, that's not a-
Oh, that's the week before.
That's the,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, sorry for my confusion.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Brad?
Oh, I did have a couple of things. I'd like to follow up. I asked a specific question a couple meetings ago about political signs and whether an election, excuse me, whether an election, the primary and the general election were two different elections, and therefore, based on our code, 60 days before an election, we can put the signs up 60 days before the election. We did receive a notice from, I believe, the village manager or the attorney, that signs can go up on the 12th?
Came from Bob, I believe.
From, okay,
Code.
from code? Okay, so do we have an answer? Are they separate elections? You were gonna do some research on that?
In talking with the code enforcement officer, I believe that we came to the conclusion that they were separate elections and they would be allowed to be placed, and that there would not be any action taken with respect to seeking to have people remove them for that limited period of time.
Thank you. I'd also like to get some information. It has to do with public safety. We're now well over a year without our chief of police, and we've been going through some negotiations since the beginning of the year, I think, with the county or the sheriff. Or I'd just like to know so that I can tell the people where we're at with this. It seems like we keep, there's a new plan and there's new roadblocks.
Well,
We have contacted the county again last week to see if we can bring this to a resolution. And as soon as I get a return call from Santulli, we'll be able to wrap it up.
anything else, Paul?
No,
John?
Oh,
I don't know if Brad was done.
no, I
Oh, I
wasn't.
thought you were, sorry.
My secretary handed me a note. I noticed that all the pedestrian safety signs are down again. And I just wonder why we can't keep them up. Are they people stealing them or something, or running them over? Or, now there's none on any of the crosswalks.
yeah, well, they cost $400 a piece. We had one on West Franklin for 10 minutes before it was run over and destroyed. And it seems that they last between that 10 minutes and 2 months before they're no longer usable. Not in a single instance have we had anyone report that they hit the sign. So, you know, it's we just haven't replaced them at that cost, and you know, them getting damaged so quickly. We have instructed the DPW to paint pedestrian crossing signs before the crosswalk.
Mhm.
And I think Matt has ordered a template for that,
Mhm.
the figure and the lettering.
That would be good.
Yeah, so, I mean, the signs are expensive and the stand-ups are expensive and they haven't worked, so.
How many do you think we've gone through?
Oh,
I,
I would say between 8 and 12.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think I remember 10 that have been run over.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
We changed the
$4,000.
style, I mean, we've done different things.
Yeah. I know, as crazy as it sounds, up in Canada, I think it's Montreal, they have a bucket on one side of the street, and a bucket on the other side of the street, and they have red flags. When you wanna cross the street, you pick up the red flag and you wave it, and hope you don't get hit, and then you leave it on the other side, and somebody brings. Other countries do innovative things, but $4,000 for these things is a lot to come out of, yeah, so you're gonna try the painting.
We've done the painting before, we had them painted up by the Purple Iris before.
Yeah, I think they have to be a little before you get to the crosswalk, not right
Well,
on
there's
it.
probably there's a code for that, I mean, you just
I'm
can't
sure,
put it wherever you
yeah.
want it.
Okay, anything's better than nothing.
And lastly, I mentioned in the meeting that our website's it's not up to date, and there were several instances that I gave, and I just wondered if we have had a chance, what can we do with the website? And again, where do we stand with the IT people as far as being able to put our recorded meetings at least on, at least a link on someplace on the website so that people can listen to this?
On the website, we're updating that, time permitting. On the question of audio files, I have turned that over to the IT people. They are looking at different options. It's unlike, an individual thing where you just put a link and post it. We're talking about an organization, and they want to do it correctly. What concerns us, and I've mentioned this several times in the past, is that we have had thousands, literally, of attempted intrusions into our system, and that has commanded a good deal of attention. We have been, so far, very successful in preventing any of that, but the knowledge outside and from other countries specifically gets better and better, and so it's a constant vigilance that's required, and constant updating. So we had a couple of spooky things happen earlier this week. Coincidentally, Wall Street had that problem, and and I say spooky because they didn't know it. It didn't have any apparent cause in our system. So that's created and taken a whole lot of attention. So that's where we are. They have promised when we get this in a priority order that they'll give us a full report on what to do, how to do it, and what our equipment needs to be.
You guys want my microphone?
No, we can share. I can't make the 3rd. The workshop on September 3rd. I have a previous engagement. My son is getting married.
You better be there.
Congratulations. One moment, please. All right, well. Let's have it on the 8th during our regular meeting. I promise it won't take very long.
Yep, I think that's a good consideration. I appreciate that for the timing.
Yeah.
Because I know decisions are gonna be made, but, you did your research, and would that be okay?
It's okay with me. Regular meeting.
Okay.
Only talking 15 minutes, maybe, if that, yeah.
Can I touch base on the website there? I noticed that the minutes, the last minutes that were posted on there was on the 28th of May. Is there a way we can get the minutes within the 2-week period after the meeting, posted on the website for people to view?
Do that again? You said that.
The minutes during the board meetings, I understand through the board, the rules of the board is that 14 days, 2 weeks after the meeting has concluded, should be posted for the public view. And the last minutes that was posted was 5/28/2015, which was well over the 2-week mark.
Yeah, how come? Is just that IT thing that's going on?
Well, no, not really. We'll take care of it.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Fred?
Nope.
Paul?
Nothing, thank you.
John?
The manager and Rachel continue to work on refining the employee handbook. I expect that it will be presented to the board for consideration in the very near future. So we'll continue to work on it and hopefully wrap it up shortly. Thank you.
Nate?
I'd just like to remind everybody that Saturday is Family Day, and we'll be launching the fireworks Saturday night as well, around 9:30. I've been told the weather will be much better than it is today.
Promise?
I'm not gonna promise it, but it's gonna be better than today.
That it?
That's all I got today, yes.
Go guy?
Got nothing more to add, I guess.
Find a lot of places that need attention?
We'll find us
The normal amount, you know, it happens every year. Yeah.
Doing well.
I sent that one to you up in the yard.
That's about that.
Is that done? Good.
We have figured it out.
Thank you.
I'm fine.
How's Blacktop?
There.
How many roads this year?
9, we got 5 3/4 done.
Okay. No problem, that's good. A new-
Well, not done, but
Yeah.
we got curbs and stuff to do. We got 5, we got asphalt.
Get more done, better product,
So,
same price that we paid last year?
a lot better price on it.
Yeah. Okay. Rachel?
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, Family Day should be exciting, great weather, good locations. Bring your bug spray. Yeah, the IT thing too, I'm interested, and I've said it before, what I'm really interested in is how many people look at it. Because I'll tell you, to spend a lot of money to have to change it, I don't know what it's gonna cost if it has anything. But I have counters on mine, I know who gets involved, who looks, and I know who posts on it, and who likes, you know, we have to find out what this, what the finances are, to make a good judgment, along with the other considerations of why we do it. That's all. Just my 10 cents. So, motion to adjourn,
So moved.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. I've got somebody coming out and it'll be okay, but it just needs support, so I don't say the wrong thing. Repairing her bike. And she's willing to pay half, and whatever. You know, our half is the new system, I think she knows the
She said coming back.
Okay, I'll talk to her.
Yeah, they're gonna come in, they're gonna do
You gonna ride? You gonna ride?
No, I got my wife.